And we're back with Liliane. That's Manahan, and all of her, all of her experience in Venice. Now, okay, you were saying that you were basically an artisan. You were like somebody in a workshop, Michelangelo's workshop. So you were doing all of the hard work.
Yeah.
Okay.
More like his assistant, not him.
Oh,
Because
okay.
the assistant
All right,
does
yeah.
the work.
So you say that there was some on-the-job training when you were in Venice. Can you tell us more about this?
Yeah, well, while we were taking the course, we would be assigned to several sites. Of course, not to handle the whole thing, but just to try out what we learned in small spaces. In my case, it was the Jesuati, the church, the Jesuit church.
The Jesuit church in Venice.
Right by Fundamenta Nove.
Okay. If I go there now, can I go there and tell my friends, look,
It's
Liliane.
this small. It's this
But
small.
it's still there, Tats.
Yeah, of
Oh,
course, because I
exciting.
mean, you can't distinguish which one. If I tell you, it's the fourth acanthus lily from the right. I mean,
Acanthus.
it's like this.
All right. Now,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
you mentioned something about the cave. Now, what the hell is this?
Okay, this is a more recent happening. My school in Venice, well, in Vicenza actually, because it moved from
Puglia to
Venice
Venice to
to
Vicenza.
Vicenza.
Okay.
They sent me, I think it was 2 or 3 years ago, they sent me this project and asked me if I was interested. And it was a fresco cave restoration in Puglia.
Wow.
That's in the southern part of Italy. I've never been there. And for me, that was going to be another adventure because I've never been to Puglia. And where else can I touch an 11th century cave fresco?
A cave fresco?
yeah.
Isn't that
I've never heard
wonderful?
of this.
11th
Yeah.
century and, I mean, on a 4th century Greco-Roman landscape. So I thought it was great.
Okay. So
right?
what did you do? What was the job?
It was to restore the frescoes which were buried under salt incrustations all these years.
Oh, so okay, so
So you were learning to
You
take
had to
the
remove
salt
this?
off and then
Well, the first thing that you need to do is clean off the salts, right?
Yes.
And what I learned, because I had a Byzantine iconographer working with me,
yes.
he had identified the ice which were showing through the salt, and he said, it's Byzantine. So I didn't know that every cave, you know where the Christians used to hide?
yes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so
Christian
that-
persecution.
Yes.
Yeah, so this was a burial cave actually because there were rectangles that looked like,
Well,
Burial
yeah, where you put
sites.
the coffins,
Right.
right?
yeah, and close by was the living cave, which was a cave, I guess, where the Christians
Would
slept.
stay,
Yeah.
yeah, and hiding from
Yeah.
Okay, so there
and
was-
this was their
persecution.
place of worship, the
Yes.
one with the frescoes.
Oh,
This
how
is so fascinating.
exciting.
Yeah, I know.
So you were restoring or removing all the incrustation.
The
Did you have to
fir-
put paint again or what?
Well, it's not done yet because it's going to take forever.
Oh, it's still going on.
Tats, how old were you at this point?
This was only 3 years ago.
Oh my goodness! So this is
I had
very
turned
recent
60.
to you. Wow!
Yeah.
Which just goes to prove, you know, in your later life, you can actually change to a completely different kind of job. You
Yeah,
know.
but you know, this is not the only thing that Tats has been doing.
Yes.
Nothing abroad. You've done something here. Now tell us all about it. Talking about the angry Christ here.
Oh, that one is like 3 years old. I think it's a 3 or 4 year old project. I was always fascinated by the work of Alfonso Osorio.
Yes, it's
Right?
fabulous.
Yeah, I had seen that angry Christ when I was newly married because Johnny's aunt his mom is from Bacolod.
Yes.
And he had an aunt who was living in Victoria
Right.
at that time. So we went there and she showed us this chapel. And I said, wow, who is this by? And so the name Alfonso Osorio kind of stuck in my brain, aside from the fact that he was a contemporary of Jackson Pollock, whom Johnny
oh my gosh.
loved.
Yes, of course.
That was his era in Johnny's
Yes.
era in San Francisco,
Uh-huh.
right? So, so that's the reason why it stuck. The name stuck.
Mhm.
And I saw that church again, and then the third time I was already one of the contributing editors for Rogue magazine.
Oh my goodness.
And I told our editor, please, can I write about Osorio for the art issue.
But Tats, I also know that you're doing an awful lot of interiors.
The interior designers I've worked with are very perceptive to their clients.
She has worked with like
Mario Buata.
Buata.
You have?
Yes.
Yeah.
Can you imagine?
Wow.
And her work.
Again, by accident, because he was the interior designer of Anton Rojas, the late Anton
Oh,
Rojas.
Anton. You know, if you just go see her house, you'll see what she does as a living. I mean, it's fantastic. If you want a palace, she's the girl to go to.
Oh, all right. I'll remember that in my next life. That is fantastic. I'm so sorry that we have to call this to an end right now, Tats, because there's so much to obviously know about you and your profession. So let's have you back if we can.
Sure.
We would like.
Yeah, we can talk
pleasure.
about her advocacies and all the international,
there's so much
all the
more,
international
yes.
associations that you're affiliated with.
Absolutely.
Okay.
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 Thank you.
This has been Tats Manahan, and we're so proud to have had her on The Privilege Card.